Hello and welcome to the Lunar Phoenix Path, where we use symbolism to help you turn embers into flame. Today we're looking at burnout, specifically through the lens of overfunctioning and doing too much. This will be a general collective reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and move forward in a way that best suits you. Let's see what wants to come forward. So full transparency, this is, I don't know, like the fourth or fifth time I've started this. Clarity is something that I need. Not in the sense that absolutely nothing is coming to me. The problem is that I'm feeling very scatterbrained every time I've started this. So hopefully things will go better. Okay. Okay, well, you're starting. Two, let's go for 3, and bottom of the deck. Okay. So this will be the overall energy, and in that sense we have the Emperor. So respect, leadership, father figure, divine masculine energy, structure, authority, stability, control, discipline, and focus. I don't know if you heard that. So there was a vehicle just kind of starting off, and they have a really loud muffler, if I can speak. I feel like using that as symbolism, like you're trying to take off from something. So in that respect, I feel like maybe you're in your divine masculine energy. Like you feel like you have a job to do, and by God, you're going to do it no matter what. Father figure. Either you're trying to impress someone who is like a father to you. Maybe whether it's work or personal related, I feel like you're trying to impress, obviously, the father figure, but maybe it's more like a parent, like a parental role. Like, I'm not saying this is your situation. Like maybe you wanted to become an actor and they told you, no, you need to become a lawyer or something more grounded, more predictable, if you will. Like you're trying to earn their respect. I think maybe that's how this all started. I don't think that's like the meat and potatoes of your current situation. I feel like you're trying to make the best of the current situation, whatever path that you dove down. You see where you want to be, and there's control in your life, the way that you want it to go. But you don't know how to get there, so you're just kind of like trying to, like if you're swimming in the ocean and there's a lot of waves and like you're swimming against the current, sort of a deal. And you're doing a lot. You're just, you know what, I'm not going to elaborate. That you're just doing a lot, period. And you don't feel like you're going anywhere. So, okay. But you do want to actually be the Emperor in this sense. Okay, so the second card, Strength, self-love and respect, unconditional love, courage, inner strength. Influence, compassion, persuasion, inner stillness. So the first thought that popped in my head on the whole inner stillness, I feel like it's kind of like a wave pool. Are you the one creating all of the waves? That's the first thing that popped in my head. Now, I don't know if that's really how I want to go, but that popped there. Try, in the sense of the overall energy, how I mentioned you're just flat out doing too much. I mean, granted, this is over-functioning. But if you're doing too much to try to impress whoever this other person is, maybe it's a company, this other being, I feel like you need to calm the waters, going with the whole ocean vibe here. So inner stillness kind of, I don't know, meditation is something maybe that you need to do at least a little bit to try to just calm down, get some clarity. When you see a more logical and potentially less stressful path, courage is where I'm going with this. It may not feel like the right path, but I think you need to have the courage to actually, and the inner strength to go down that path, because that is the way you need to go. I could be very wrong, but like, for me, example, I tend to overthink and overdo to try to, hell or high water, get to where I want to be. And whatever outcome that I'm shooting for, I am going to do my best to get that done. I will firmly place myself in this over-functioning sub-theme. But I've recently learned that doing too much, well, obviously causes burnout. And I start doing things like as they come, like I'm grasping for straws, and I feel like I'm drowning. So I have recently found that as I kind of relaxed and kind of thoughtfully, came across everything, I'm learning to say no to certain things. So I feel like maybe you need to do that too. And that is going to take courage and inner strength, because if you are the type of person to cover everything and try to do everything to please not just like a parent, but just everyone around you, it's not going to work. Unconditional love. So this is not going to be towards anybody else but you. I guess the question that kind of popped in my head right now, are you, at the heart of this, are you trying to impress somebody else, or are you trying to impress some version of yourself? Like, not necessarily, going with the example I gave where actor versus lawyer, or whatever professions may be relative to you, or you get the idea. Maybe you feel like you're trying to impress yourself, like your inner child, in the sense that you're trying to convince yourself that you are meant to do, that you can do, choose your terms, the lawyer job, profession. Like, it's not, the situation is not something you chose, and for whatever reason you feel like you need to try to convince yourself that you are good enough to do the job. Let me say this, you are good enough. You are enough. You just need to have self-love and respect. You are living your one and only life. Okay, third card, Justice. Okay, so justice, fairness, universal laws, karma, cause and effect, truth is revealed, legal, truth, accountability, and consequence. So I'm going to go with consequence first. In the sense that if you were trying to impress everybody else but yourself, you're going to have burnout. And there's going to be some serious animosity towards whomever or whatever is in your way and that isn't what you had planned. Cause and effect. So that consequence, cause and effect. So in a sense of duality. Kind of like what I was saying here for the strength. You need to have self-love and respect. I know I already, essentially we're beating a dead horse, and I get that. But I feel like maybe some of you are just kind of doing an eye roll. Like, yeah, I know, get to the point. My point is that it feels like somebody else has told you this. Some version of this. Maybe, obviously not verbatim. But for whatever reason, you have not followed through. And so therefore, you are still, cycling through this negative pattern, and you're not getting anywhere. So you're doing too much for other people and not enough for yourself. You need to balance. Last card, Wheel of Fortune. That's always a good thing. So, good luck, fate, life cycles, destiny, a turning point. The universe is in control, changes, cycle, karma, listed twice. So on the Justice card and here, unexpected events. I feel like when you start focusing on yourself, you're going to find more joy in life. You're going to find that you don't need to do as much as you think you need to do to be happy. If you're trying to impress somebody else and they got used to you doing too much, breadcrumbing is coming to my mind. Once you step back, depending on their personality, they will notice, but depending on their personality, they may not be happy. But at the flip side of this, and I'm going with like the balanced duality, I don't think there's anything that you could do to make them happy. So just focus on yourself. I mean, pardon my friends, but screw them. And once you learn to love yourself and respect yourself and find your proverbial happy place, I feel like your whole world is literally going to flip upside down. You're not going to be as, well, obviously you're going to be happy, but you're going to start feeling like things that you've, in some way, shape, or form, things that you've wanted will start coming your way. Now, if it's like a whole different type of profession, that's probably going to take a whole lot of extra work. So, I mean, if you literally do say screw it, and you move across country, move to California and become an actor, maybe you will become very successful. You never know. But in a more muted sense, because that's very drastic. I do feel in some way, shape, or form, when you start focusing on yourself, you will start having good luck. Fate will start turning the tides, karma. I mean, a person can only do so much for so many people, things, whatever, and before they're like, enough, it's my turn. So in that sense, it is your turn. It is your time. You just have to believe it. And in yourself. So let's get some oracle cards here. I feel like this totally went down the relationship aspect. In my mind, when I started this, I thought it was going to go more work. And it was kind of a blend, now that I think about it, but point is, I totally envisioned this going a different way. Well, we run with what we've got. And maybe that's something to kind of keep in mind. I mean, like, life didn't deal you the cards that you were hoping. So you just make do with what you've got. Like, don't get me wrong. I think almost every single person in this world at some point has gambled on something. Okay, we'll say people in the modern world. They've gambled on something and it didn't go their way, no matter how hard they tried. And obviously, lottery is going to be the very popular answer. So I'm hearing you're just a small fish in a great big ocean. My brain just started playing Waterfalls by TLC. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I'm going to have that stuck in my head for the rest of the day. What I'm getting at in that whole random tangent, small steps. Rome was not built in a day. Play within the pond lake that you're used to, and maybe you can strengthen yourself enough to, I'm hearing, play with the big dogs. I'm not sure what that would entail. Some of it, I feel like one of the first steps you need to do is the whole inner stillness. Okay, enough of the random. Okay, let's get some messages. I've been playing with these cards and doing nothing. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'll take 2 because justice has scales, balance, and duality. There we go. So the first one, hold your vision, fixed moon. Yeah, like on that line about you only have one life to live, the only person you should really be trying to impress, as I said before, is yourself. So if you want to be an actor and not a lawyer, then my God, go do it. Don't let somebody else tell you how you should live your life. Shoot. Maybe, in that scenario, maybe what you need to do is maybe a hybrid. I mean, I'm definitely not a lawyer and definitely not an actress, but I'm sure there's some form of position that could blend the two. And maybe that's the route you need to go. But in some way, shape, or form, hold the vision. I mean, it may not end up like coal. How under pressure it turns into a diamond. Sometimes, if you just look at it, coal is coal. So, but it can change. You decide, is what I'm hearing. You decide whether you end up with the coal or the diamond. Okay. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The new moon in Sagittarius. When is that? December 8th of this year, so 2026. Now, if that means anything to you, I'd say run with it. It doesn't have to. Maybe if I'm not saying that you'll have everything figured out by then, but maybe you'll have some serious strides towards whatever direction you go. Okay. Whoa. Let's not lose them off the side of the desk here. You know what? You too. Life is an expression of you. Life is more than just existing. For those who want a better look, And the number 1 is on the card. 1 is initiation. So leadership, independence, new beginnings. What do you want? That came to mind. So I know it seems kind of a very simplistic question, but sometimes it's a very loaded question. Can you answer that? And on that note, see with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. With the number 2. So balance and duality, partnership, sensitivity, diplomacy. I'm going with balance and duality. So, because justice. In all of this, I'm hearing your time is now. It is what you make of it. So take a deep breath. Ask yourself what you want. And figure out the steps. Calmly figure out the steps to get you, just to get you where you want to go. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just make small strides. Like, for example, I love the idea of being outdoors, but I am really out of shape. I'm not 400 pounds, but I am not in shape. And I told my husband I thought it would be a good idea, 1, to get in shape, and 2, hike the PCT, so the Pacific Crest Trail. Now, we are not going to be able to do that in 6 months because we're both working adults. But we can chunk it up, and maybe, depending on how in shape I get myself over the course of maybe a couple of years, maybe we'll be able to chunk out 200, 250, 300 miles over the course of a week, maybe a week and a half, and then we'll just take, I don't know, like 12, 13 years to get it done. It's a little by little, step-by-step approach. But we can do it. I need to have faith in myself that I'm going to be able to do it. Because it is not going to be easy. So enough of my rambling. Figure out what you want, and then go for it. You have the inner strength. Whether you believe it is a whole nother thing. So, believe in yourself, have some courage, have some compassion, self-love, and respect. And I feel that you will get where you need to go. That's about it. So whatever is surfacing for you right now, let it clarify rather than consume. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and move forward in a way that best suits you. I'll see you next time.